Good evening, my name is Chung. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Chung and you can call me Tina.
Okay, hi Tina. So, in this first part, let's talk about what you do. So, do you work or are you a student?
I am studying at 10th grade Nguyễn Tất Thành Gifted High School.
Let's move on and talk a bit about where you live. So, do you live in an apartment or a house?
I live in a cozy house at Kontum City.
What do you like about your house?
I enjoy the peaceful atmosphere in front of my house, and also I like its convenient locations near essential places.
What do you not like about your house?
I don't like my house because it's a bit too small and the lack of privacy is offered.
Okay. What room in your house do you prefer most?
I prefer our kitchen because it's after a busy day we can gather and talk about our day.
What can you see from the window of your house?
In front of my window, I can see the whole street lined with shops, stores, and lots of trees.
How long have you been living there?
I've been living there for nearly 15 years.
Will you keep living there in the future?
Yes, of course, because my house is a place that holds our memories. So,
Okay. Do you want to live near your house? Do you want to live near your family when you get your own house?
yes, of course, because I want to stay close to my family and take care of them.
Okay. We are going to move on, and I am going to give you a topic. I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You can make some notes if you wish. You have
Thank you.
1 minute to prepare, okay?
Thank you.
So your topic is describe an important building in your town. You should say where the building is located, what it looks like when you visited it, and explain why this building is important.
Okay.
So remember, you've got 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this. Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up.
Okay.
Can you start talking now?
Okay, so in my town, the most important building is the Central Hospital. It's located right in the middle of the city, so everyone knows where it is. So the Central Hospital is really big with about 3 floors, and the exterior is mostly painted white. And there are some trees and benches around it so people can sit while waiting. And I first went there when I took my grandma for a checkup, but at first I thought it would be a bit messy because it's always crowded, but actually everything was quite organized, and the doctors and nurses were super nice, and that made me feel more comfortable. And I think the Central Hospital is really important because it provides healthcare for everyone, and without it, people would have to travel to another city for treatments, which would be highly inconvenient and particularly in emergencies.
Okay, so thank you very much. Great. you've been talking about an important building in your town. I'm going to go on and ask you some questions related to that, okay?
Okay.
So let's talk first of all about modern and traditional buildings. The question is, what are the differences between modern buildings and traditional buildings?
Well, personally, I think modern buildings often built with glass, concrete, like this, but and it's focused on being practical and functional. But traditional buildings, on the other hand, often feature unique designs like wooden details, curved roof, or like cultural decorations. And to be honest, traditional buildings are much more charming, while modern buildings tends to be more practical and like convenient.
Great. Do you think people prefer modern houses or traditional houses nowadays?
I think people prefer modern buildings because it's often equipped with high quality equipment, and it meets people needs on living and working. But traditional houses, I think much more like it's much more cultural. It's like a place that holds cultural and art history like this. So I think people would prefer modern buildings more than traditional buildings.
Okay, nice. Does a region's climate affect the way buildings are constructed?
Yes, of course. In hot countries, homes often built with big window and open space to stay cool. But in contrast, in some colder city, houses often built with thicker walls and smaller windows to retain the heat. And even in Vietnam, especially in rural areas, homes often built with high roofs to keep the ventilation in the house. Yes.
Great. Let's move on and talk about architecture. Should cities have both modern and traditional architecture?
Yes, of course, because I think having both leads to a balance. Modern buildings often being practical and functional as they meet people's needs in living and working, but traditional architecture hold memories and it's like a part of the history, and without it a city might feel like soulless, so I think when they coexist, the city becomes meaningful and convenient.
Great. How do you think architecture will change in the future?
I think in the future, buildings will be more eco-friendly, and it will have some like smart systems to recycle water, save energy, or even produce their own electricity. And another change could be the design's flexibility. So one building can serve different purposes depending on people's needs.
Okay. Should governments preserve old buildings?
Yes, of course, because like I said before that traditional buildings and old buildings, like it holds memories about the past, and also it's the part of it's like the part of the city's culture. So I think it's important to preserve it.
Okay, that's great. I'm going to stop you there. This is the end of the speaking test. Thank you very much.
Thank you.